Hello, welcome back to my channel. So, most of the time I try to make my videos, at least a little bit appealing to other people. Not today. Today I'm going full self-indulgent. I don't know how many people will care about this video. I don't care how many people care about this video. I'm indulging myself this time. So, X-Men who are the X-Men who should definitely come out as queer. There's nothing actually written on here. The X-Men honestly do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to Marvel's queer representation. Iceman being, one of the big modern examples. Richter, Shatterstar, Karma, Mystique, Destiny, D'Ken, Northstar. They've got a lot of... there's a lot of X-Men who are already canonically gay. But there are others who haven't come out as gay, but really should. So, those are the ones I'm going to talk about. The ones who have already come out, I'm not going to, they're already out. There's the ones who everyone knows, or, a lot of these are characters that everyone already knows are gay. But for some reason, they don't actually get to say it on panel. So, yeah, here's my list. Starting off, Kate Pryde. Again, everybody knows Kate Pryde is bisexual. She has been queer-coded almost from the start. Her friendship with Eliana, her relationship with Rachel Summers, Rachel Gray. There was a moment in Excalibur where a grown woman was pretty damn close to seducing her. She had a moment with Karma and in one of the Mechanics miniseries. Like, she's just made of bisexual tension, bisexual subtext. And she has kissed a woman in not too long ago in Marauders. She did kiss a woman on the lips. Yeah, it's time for her to actually, come out as bi. Because she's definitely fooled around with girls. There's no question that she's fooled around with girls. My theory is she's not actually sure if she wants to date one, because part of her does still want a traditional family. I also think that she'll end up marrying a woman, and they'll adopt 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a cat. That is definitely how Kate Pryde ends up in the future. Another big one, Storm. Clearly pansexual. Obviously. Gender just doesn't really make a difference to her. I'm inclined to think that she's also polyamorous. She's fine with monogamy if that's what her partner prefers. But I think she is polyamorous. And her and Logan have, they're not in an official relationship or anything, but, they are both polyamorous. They're both open to being being part of a polycule, or multiple polycules. Uh, I also think that there's, yeah, if the world were better, Storm would also be genderqueer. Um, Obviously, they're not going to do that with the main version of Storm, but you know, an alternate universe version should just be totally genderqueer. Uh, Gambit, definitely bisexual. He's definitely taken dick. Rogue, I'm inclined to think is pansexual. She's had too many memories of too many lovers for her to have any hangups at this point. Like, all the people whose memories she's absorbed, like, yeah. She's just accepted that she's pansexual. Also, I think Rogue and Gambit are big on kinks. I figure they either will or already have joined a kink community, and will probably also end up being swingers. They are the kinky couple, which I think Kelly Thompson pretty much made canon in her Mr. and Mrs. X series. Ilyana Rasputin, magic, lesbian, 100% lesbian, and I will fight anyone on that. I actually want to make a video that is entirely about why, like, using textual evidence to show why Ilyana is a lesbian, not bisexual, a lesbian. That said, she hates dating and has no idea how to go about it. She opened a Tinder account, went on 2 dates, they were both terrible, and she deleted the app. I kind of hope that one day she ends up meeting Leia of Hell, and they end up ruling as the Queens of Limbo. Because Ilyana deserves a happy ending with her own big titty goth girlfriend, you know? Just a pair of big titty goth girlfriends. Rachel Gray, bisexual. Absolutely. She's totally hung up on Kate, but has somehow convinced herself that Kate's not actually interested, even though Kate actually is interested. For a couple of years there, I was kind of shipping Rachel with Karma, but Teenie Howard has definitely been pushing the Rachel Psylocke angle. So, yeah, I'd definitely be open for those two. They'll be a cute couple if Howard is actually allowed to make them an official couple. I figure that, Jean, Emma, Xavier, all telepaths, I figure are panromantic. Their power lets them see to the depths of who a person is. Intimacy has a very different meaning at that point. They can all have sexual preferences. But they're all romantically open to anyone, regardless of gender. That said, Jean is also bisexual. Emma is also bisexual. Xavier is probably bisexual. Quentin Quire is bisexual, but he hasn't actually had a chance to act on it yet. He's also non-binary. And he's still working through his feelings on that. But once he actually comes to terms with it, once he actually starts acting on it, he's going to be dragging his friend Ben Morph to help him shop for dresses. Logan, I generally saw Logan as heteroflexible, meaning that he's primarily heterosexual, but in some instances is willing to have sex with a guy. And I think he's had a couple hookups with guys before. My theory is the first time it happened was in World War One when he was trapped in a cave together with a few guys for a couple weeks. That said, he might be fully bisexual. Him and Logan might have or him and Scott might have a thing going right now. There's definitely been some implications there. Nightcrawler. Bi-curious. I'm personally inclined to think that he hasn't actually hooked up with a guy yet. But a lot of people are pretty confident that Nightcrawler and Logan have hooked up. And that's possible. I'll grant that very well may have happened. Laura, the best Wolverine. She's bisexual. She's bi, but she doesn't place a whole lot of emphasis on sex or romance in general. She's not asexual. She just generally has a low sex drive, I figure. And I also think she's totally in love with Jubilee. Laura's sister, Gabby, also bi, but no real experience yet with either gender, but is very much looking forward to it. Speaking of Jubilee, I see her as polyamorous, biromantic, asexual. Basically she just wants to cuddle up with a movie. She doesn't mind her partners getting sex elsewhere. She enjoys sex, it's fun, but it really doesn't matter to her. Yeah. I mentioned Psylocke earlier. She is canonically bi. She has hooked up with. She did hook up with a woman during one of the X-Force runs. Hooked up with a woman named Cluster, who was the female version of a guy she was in love with. It's comics, it's weird. But I don't think that's her first time with a woman. I think she's always known that she was bi. And when she was in high school, I think she hooked up with at least one girl that Brian had a crush on. I also think that her and Storm have a friends with benefits thing going on. Dazzler. I would say Dazzler's is one of those people who says she doesn't like labels. I also think she's admitted in an interview that she's hooked up with a couple women. I also think that she's a huge queer icon in universe. She kind of has to be, given she started out in disco. So, yeah. Domino and Boom Boom have both made out while drunk on multiple occasions. Absolutely, that's happened. Boom Boom considers herself straight. Domino considers herself straight. Boom Boom considers herself awesome. And has definitely made a joke that her pronouns are explode. Cypher. Bi. Is actually worse at dating than Ilyana. Despite the fact that his entire mutant power is language, talking. He is absolutely terrible at talking while on dates. I also think that he's into BDSM. He can be a switch, but I think he prefers to be a sub. Uh, Also, I think he's probably incredible in bed, but doesn't have great stamina. Magma. I'm inclined to think that she still thinks that modern notions of sexuality are a bit weird. She's probably more with the ancient Roman idea of it being more about power dynamics. So she's actually comfortable sleeping with women as long as she's the dominant partner. Uh, Jamie Madrox is, into everything. Pixie, I figure bi-curious. Megan, I figure demisexual. And lastly, I think that Beast is trans. Spent so long going through so many transformations, but still hasn't found the one that'll make him happy. I think that deep inside, Hank McCoy is not Hank. I think that there is a woman trying to get out. Anyway, I think that about covers it. Trying to think if there was anyone else that I wanted to mention. Probably not. I think I went through quite a few there. But of course, all the X-Men are queer. All of them. Every single one. Every single one is into everything. That's been known, that's been known since the 80s. They were written by Chris Claremont. It's impossible to not be bisexual when you're written by Chris Claremont. It just doesn't happen. Anyway, so that's my take. So, who are some X-Men that you think should be revealed as, in some manner, queer? And actually, I probably should have said this earlier. I know that there are some people who dislike the word queer, and that's fine. Being straight, I don't really get a say in that. But, queer studies is a thing. Queer history is a thing. So, I think the label has been pretty successfully reclaimed by the LGBTQ plus community. And also, it's just a lot easier to say than LGBTQ plus. So that's why I say it in this video. That's why I tend to use that term as the umbrella. But I do apologize if anyone was offended by me using it. Regardless, that's what I've got for today. So, have a nice day.